Hey guys. Alright, so obviously the place to start is that this chapter pretty much signals the end of All for One at long last. And I'm not gonna lie, even though I should hate the fact that it feels like this end was rather unceremonious, when looking back at just everything we know, the backstory we just got, and everything that All for One has just done up to this point in order to maintain his grip on power, it's rather fitting that All for One losing control over his power and insanity would ultimately lead is the thing that would ultimately lead to his downfall, and more specifically the thing that would allow Bakugo to overtake him. And I'm not gonna lie, the maneuver of firing off coated beads of sweat was something I hadn't really thought about, but a clever use of Bakugo's abilities given the limitations he's working with the weather conditions. So overall, I will say really like it. I definitely liked how this chapter did handle All for One's defeat. Made even better, I think, by seeing Bakugo just go all out, using everything and every bit of power at his disposal and just everything in his arsenal to deliver the finishing blow. Like, this was definitely, without a doubt, a Bakugo chapter. Just showed everything Bakugo can do and everything he learned, everything he can use against All for One. He used it all. The only thing that Honestly, I will say the only thing that does feel like it's maybe missing from this victory is, again, something I've been talking about for a while now, which is Best Jeanist felt largely absent from this whole thing. Now, in context of Bakugo telling All for One to get, to his face to just get it straight, that his era is over and that himself, Izuku, and Class A will be the ones to write the tale of what's to come, I guess it does feel appropriate that Bakugo defeats All for One on his own rather than getting help from someone like Jeanist or any other pro hero, just as a way of showing that, yeah, the torch has officially been passed. But on the other hand, I still do maintain that the thing that I do still maintain that when taking in the fight in as a whole, it does feel like Jeanist's presence was kind of felt like a missing piece from this fight, even if the role he would ultimately play would be minor at best. It still would have felt like the missing piece to a more complete fight, although maybe a lot of this is also coming from the fact that it feels like, once again, we've been kind of left in the dark in regards to Jeanist, but based on what I do know after refreshing myself from the last time we saw Jeanist, I am getting more and more of the feeling he was off-screen killed. And at best, we'll maybe see how he went out in a flashback, or at least that's what I'm hoping we get, because, I'm sorry, just off-screening Jeanist only reporting his death after the arc, like what happened with Midnight, is going to feel like a major disrespect of the character. So I'm hoping Horikoshi has at least set aside time in order to show us what happened to him, because again, it feels like if you off-screen Jeanist, it's just gonna feel like, no, you have to show it. You have to show what happened to the guy. Like, for me, it's almost kind of a necessity that you do that. But again, I don't know. And yeah, aside from that, though, there's not much else to talk about with this chapter, although going along with All for One losing control, I do like how it is Hawks who kind of ultimately is the one to kind of troll All for One in his final moments and be like the final person he sees before getting defeated by Bakugo. Well, you also got us, well, and at the same time you also have a singular panel of who I believe is Yuichi looking on one final moment at his brother's defeat, which, with eyes of regret, that even came to this, like seeing everyone's reactions. I think this is one of those chapters where I think the best part of Bakugo's victory is just seeing everyone's reactions to said victory, and especially the look of utter shock on All Might's face, as well as the faces of Bakugo's parents, which in the latter's case, I imagine, are just glad their son's alive. But you gotta imagine with All Might, like, he's been, he's just. You see All Might in this chapter, and you see him just kind of standing there in disbelief, just looking on, and like not even like trying to like process and comprehend, and even just believe that it's over. Like, All Might, like so many others before him, have spent so much time fighting All Might, that to see this moment here where he's finally defeated, like, you can tell to All Might this is like a truly cathartic moment where it's like, it's over. It's finally over. I can finally rest, and I don't I don't have and I think even more than that though too is that for All Might it's like it's truly the sign that the future that Might I predicted has has finally been has been averted. Like his death, it's probably at this point. I don't know if his death is likely even to happen. Like I know he still got all. I know he still got I know he still got. I know we still pretty much have Shigaraki to deal with, and I guess there's still the possibility he could kill All Might. But honestly, at this point, I think it is like generally going to be probably a thing where All Might's death is kind of off the table at this point. At least I want to believe it is. Um, and yeah, just you gotta imagine for All Might, it's just seeing all this kind of just play out, seeing him like it's over, it's finally over. It's like it's one of the biggest threats that's ever is finally dead and put to rest. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of interesting. It is. I think I'm kind of feeling that same reaction myself because I can't believe it's actually finally over either. Like it's the man who's caused so much trouble for the heroes at this point is just finally dead, and now the one to really now the only one who's allowed to carry on that man's legacy is Shigaraki. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be now from here. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see how Horikoshi handles the fight with Shigaraki and Izuku. Now that pretty much one of the equally bigger threats has been taken off the table. Like with Shigaraki, like what more can he possibly do with this setup? Is I wonder. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll, push the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share it around, guys. Dark Knight of Night signing off. Later, everyone.